The relationship between scholarship and wisdom remains a contentious subject in the philosophy of science. The objective of scholarship is to attain precise, quantifiable knowledge. This constitutes modern science, reproducible, measurable, and absolute. However, one must inquire, is this knowledge founded upon the semblance of things, or does it penetrate to their very essence? Scientists attempt to achieve this knowledge by employing scientific methods to understand both nature and society. Conversely, the concept of wisdom introduces a different perspective on knowledge. Sages do not appear like scholars. They often resemble pedants or dilettantes. Indeed, many lack an academic career. This might appear as a paradox, yet wisdom is regarded as a superior concept when compared to scholarship. Who then are the scholars in the modern world? A sociologist, a chemist, a physicist, a psychologist, a biologist, a psychiatrist, and, crucially, the individuals I have mentioned are typically left-brained. Forgive my generalizations for now. Who then are the sages? A dervish, an arif, Gnostic, an alim, scholar of divinity, a medium, a prophet. And indeed, Carl Gustav Jung grounded metaphysics in even rational intellect within the Red Book. Esotericism is paramount. Newton and Nikola Tesla dedicated their lives to the occult sciences, alchemy, and magic. Kabbalah and Theosophy are also significant, as is Gnosticism, paganism too, and spiritualism. Simple ignorance, the state of not knowing, whilst remaining fully conscious of one's own lack of knowledge. Because this awareness exists, the path to learning remains open, as the individual recognizes their own limitations. Compound ignorance, the state of not knowing and being entirely unaware of that ignorance. Consequently, the opportunity to learn is effectively closed, for one cannot seek to fill a void they do not know exists. Complex ignorance, the most despondent of cases, to be ignorant, unaware of it, and yet to profess expertise. Such individuals are fundamentally incapable of growth or genuine understanding. Whilst they may attain high professional standing, this is an entirely separate matter from intellectual development. Modern science operates under the principle of falsifiability. Scientists themselves acknowledge that modern science will always remain insufficient in explaining the truth of things through mathematics and geometry. Using this modern scientific method, a person can never fully recognize their self. They cannot penetrate their own reality, just as they cannot penetrate the reality of objects, a pursuit which they often deem unnecessary. The Gnostic understands. The arif perceives the truth of things through initiatory meditation. Scholars attain this knowledge through reading, but the arifs would live it, embodying the experience. They lived simultaneously on the horizon of physics and metaphysics, a mystical life. There is no death. In fact, there is only transformation and evolution. Rumi, Mevlana, Yunus Emre, and René Guénon are important figures. In the following chapters, I will share direct, practical information for daily life. In Sufism, there are layers of knowledge as well as layers of the soul, such as certainty of knowledge, ilm al-yaqin, certainty of sight, ayn al-yaqin, and certainty of truth, haq al-yaqin. Insufficient research has been done on what Freemasonry may have borrowed from Sufism. The Arabic saying, Man arafa nafsahu, faqad arafa rabbah. Man arafa nafsahu, faqad arafa rabbahu, means, he who knows his self knows his Lord. Self-knowledge has its own esoteric languages. Sufism defines levels of the soul such as the contented soul, nafs al-mutmainah, the pleased soul, nafs al-radiya, the pleasing soul, nafs al-mardiya, and the self-reproaching soul, nafs al-lawama. The highest level is the perfect human. Having faith, iman, is not merely believing in God. Belief is a stage to be transcended. Faith is trusting the insights that come through our psychic abilities, such as clairvoyance and clairaudience, forms of mystical and metaphysical experience. Wisdom is also centered on the knowledge of the essence, as opposed to the knowledge scholarship attempts to obtain. However, this may cause scholars to regard sages as mere pedants. The sage's knowledge is complete. The sage does not even relinquish theory to the scholar. They are, in fact, both theoretical and practical. One can become a sage without being a scholar, Mevlana, Ibn al-Arabi, and Yunus Emre being prime examples. With the development of artificial intelligence in the modern world, progress should now be made through metaphysics, that is, through education in wisdom. There are significant worldview differences between modern science and intuitive wisdom. Ilim means science/knowledge. Ilim is the antithesis of irfan. Ilim is scholarship, not wisdom. The sage experiences metaphysics in their daily life. They are an arif, Gnostic. The sage even takes the scholar's knowledge. When Yunus Emre says, "Knowledge is knowing knowledge, knowledge is knowing yourself," he is saying, knowledge is knowing knowledge. Otherwise, he would have just said, knowledge is knowing. Note that he says, knowledge is knowing knowledge, which leads back to intuitive wisdom. Knowing yourself and self-recognition are related to the esoteric aspects of self-knowledge, Esotericism. Otherwise, this reading is for naught or for nothing. The valuable summary of the philosophy of science is intuitive wisdom. It is sagehood. It is not scholarship.
Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new lesson. To help me continue providing these sessions, just 1 month's contribution makes all the difference. The join button is now active on my profile. For those seeking private guidance on the power of the mind, specifically self-suggestion and auto-hypnosis, please feel free to reach out via email. I look forward to seeing you in next week's lesson.